Hey y'all,
How's it going, everyone?
I'm Jay,
And I'm Chris the Bird Nerd.
and
And
we
we
are
are
the
the Bird
Bird
Brains.
Brains. That one sounded good.
It
We'll
did
see.
sound good, actually.
Aladdin will tell us. He's
Maybe
our
we could be
scorekeeper.
two for 57.
There you go. I think we're like three for 50. Well, yeah, this would be
Yeah,
57.
maybe.
I think we're like three or four for 57. That's not bad
Yeah,
odds. It's
yeah.
pretty hard to
We'll
do.
take it.
We're like 10 states away from each other, a couple thousand miles. That's not bad.
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
Um, all right, it's late. I'm tired. Let's get this knocked out. We are
Let's
going to
rock and
talk.
roll, man.
We've had some. I feel like we've had some tough ones lately. So we were talking. We were brainstorming, and we thought we'd do a very positive podcast. We do the biggest wins of the breeding season for both of us. So just talk about the end of our 2024 seasons here. Some things we were really happy about. Um, so that's it. That'll be the podcast today. Biggest wins of the year.
The Bird Brains Podcast with Chris and Jay. The Bird Brains Podcast with Chris and Jay. The Bird Brains Podcast with Chris and Jay. Bird Brains, Bird Brains. The Bird Brains Podcast with Chris and Jay. The Bird Brains Podcast with Chris and Jay. The Bird Brains Podcast with Chris and Jay. Bird Brains, Bird Brains.
All right. Before we go over wins, Chris, what are we going to talk about?
We're gonna highlight our sponsor, New Zealand. New Zealand. I almost said New Zealand. Actually, no, never mind. I'm not gonna squirrel hole us. Thank you, New Zealand, a great
Mhm.
sponsor. We've got, like we mentioned in our last podcast, Jay, we're really close to getting the perch box, or the Bird Brains perch box, close to rolling out. So excited about that. Trying to finish up a few last minute touches, and then we'll start really promoting it and getting it out, and hopefully do some unboxings for you guys and make it live
Yeah,
on
I'm
the website
excited.
for you to go in and subscribe to those and get a monthly Bird Brains box and highlight some of the cool products that they've brought into their website and treats and nutritional foods, etc., for our finches, for parakeets, for the larger birds. So really excited about that, and just huge shout out to New Zealand for the great work that they do. And don't forget, 10% discount on all of our products through the code Bird Brains. So we'll make the little go. Oh wait, no, this one might be your episode, Jay. We gotta
Yeah,
get you to figure that out,
yeah,
man.
we're going to talk
Yeah.
about that because I got to get that figured out. But
It's
use
pretty
code
simple.
BirdBrains, 10% off, shipped to your door. You don't have to deal with shopping. You don't have to deal with that. You know what you're
Yep.
getting. It's
Good
awesome.
good prices all around.
Yeah, really good prices. So help us out, help yourself out, help your birds out, which is why we're all here, right?
Yes.
All right. Big wins. I'll go first.
Okay.
Crushed it with Gouldians this year. Fledged. I don't
Yeah.
know the exact number. We're going to do an episode about record keeping. It's on the list, but I've, to this point, I've only kept track of total birds fledged, which that'll be another high, but I need to start keeping track of by species because that's interesting, and I haven't done that yet. I'll do that next year, I think. Um, but I fledged like 25 Gouldians this year, so that's pretty freaking killer. Pretty
That's
excited
awesome, man.
about that.
That
Yeah,
is awesome.
yeah. So, and I really only have like truly like three pairs breeding. So, I mean, what does that work out to? Is like six and a quarter birds per
That's
pair.
it's a great
So
average.
that is above the replacement rate for sure. So that is a huge win. Definitely the best year I've ever had for Gouldians. Moved a bunch of them out onto the perch, so pretty excited about that.
And I got some Goulians from you earlier this year. I don't know if they were last year's babies, Jay, or this year, but they're looking pretty solid. Some good orange heads and
Yeah, that'll be
good
this
semi
year's
red head as
babies.
well. And really excited to put them into the breeding program next year. Got some good size, some good color on them, and both males
Yeah,
and females. It's gonna be awesome.
my orange
Good.
head. I've got a hen that's an orange head and a male that I guess is split to orange that she paired with herself, and
Okay.
they've been cranking out. They crank out redheads and orange heads, but that hen in particular, she's also like my least cautious hen. Like she'll come up and hang out with me. She's
That's
easily
awesome.
one of my favorite birds in the aviary. She rocks. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, orange heads in Utah are hard to come by. orange or yellowheads, dependent.
They're
They're both
same
called the same
thing.
thing, exactly. Um, they
They're rare
they
down here too. I don't really know where I got
they
her
don't
from.
seem to be as strong health wise, or as far as like resisting diseases. They tend to be a little bit more fragile in the Gullion Finch world. But got some orange heads from you. Got some orange heads from Alex at SoCal Gullion out in California, and I think right now I've got, geez, probably 7 or 8 yellowheads, orange heads that will be putting into the breeding program next year, which is the most that I've ever had. Probably the most. I probably have, between me and my brother Bob, we probably have more orange heads together than anyone else in the state, just because they're so hard to come by. And but so shout out to you, Jay, and the success that you had and sharing some of those beautiful birds with me. So.
All right, I think I might know what yours is going to be, but let's see what your number one is.
See, it's a little bit bigger than a finch and has a lot of pink on it.
Hmm.
Um, so the Borks, I did awesome with my Bork species this year. So I started off with 3 pairs, actually ended with 4 pairs at the end of this year, and my fourth pair, they just fledged their last 2 chicks about a week and a half ago. So I got, out of the 4 pairs, let's see, I have to double check on my phone. I think it was 27 babies total that I got this year.
Yeah, you made a lot
Just
of borks.
just rocked them, and all 4 pairs, they bred great for me. I had a really good setup for all of them. I feel like I've got a good process for them that just that they liked. They seemed to be okay with it, and they just were kicking out babies. I had to like pull down nest boxes, or they would all still be on eggs again. Right now, they seem to be like your zebra finches and just always wanting to breed. Now that like Pink Lemonade, she kicked out 4 clutches for me this year, which I don't usually let my birds have 4 clutches. 3 is the max, and sometimes even then I am cautious about it. But she slipped a 4th clutch underneath my nose, and she already had eggs that were, I mean, she had several days of incubation on them before her 3rd clutch even fledged from the nest box. I mean, she quickly laid that 4th clutch, and so I decided to let her raise it, and she only hatched out and raised 1 chick on that 4th clutch because I think she was pretty tired. But she rocked it, did really good, all different mutations and breeds with the Borks. Still have
Beautiful,
some
beautiful
eggs.
ones.
Yeah, still have some available. So I know I'm not shipping right now because we are now in winter, and I don't want the birds to get too cold and die, even though they're a pretty hardy bird. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. But if you guys are ever in Utah, reach out to me, or here locally. I would be happy to send you along your way with a beautiful pink bird. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
I got 3 borks from you this year. I got a normal, a rosy, and a oh wow, it's slipping my
did
mind
I
because I'm
send you a
tired.
Lutino or a
Yeah,
Rubino?
Rubino. The
That's right.
Rubino is maybe the prettiest bird I've ever seen. I mean, it's
So they're
unbelievable.
gorgeous.
Doesn't look real. So
Yeah.
can't say enough about your borks either. They're all great. They're all healthy. They're all sweet and vivacious and not like my murder bork. And
Yeah.
so
She's
just
special.
awesome. Yeah, they're doing great. And so now I'm up to 3 pairs of borks myself. So
Good. Good.
next year, between the two of us, we're going to make a lot of borks, I think. So
We're gonna be flooding the market with pink birds this year and
that's
next year. So
that is the plan. That's awesome. Yeah, all right. Big win for me, number 2. So my previous record was set last year. I fledged 114 this last year. Well, right now I'm at like 119 or 20, maybe 121. My record's on my phone, so I can't check while we're recording, but should have checked before. But I think before the season's done, I'll be at almost 130, which legally I have to stay under 200. So I've still got some room to get even better, but I'm getting close enough that I'm starting to have to think about dialing back, which is
yeah.
really fun. That's awesome. And that's more credit to the birds than it is me, but they rocked it this year. And and we've talked about in previous episodes the breeding condition cycle. I mean, this was I think my best year ever for I had everybody in place, ready to go. I got them all ramped up at the same time, and it just kind of worked out that way that every everybody was got three solid clutches,
That's
and the
awesome.
results speak for themselves. So
Yeah,
pretty stoked about it.
that's awesome. My win number two this year would be my Amadina finches. I did really well with them also. Started with three pairs. After my one pair after their first clutch, my hen ended up passing away. Not quite sure what had happened. I don't know if she got egg bound or what, but so then I really had two pairs throughout the rest of the summer, and then was able to acquire another pair from California. So I'm back to the three, but I got 16 chicks total between the 2.5 pairs that I had this year. Good mix of males and females, both redhead and yellowhead, which the yellowhead is awesome. They're beautiful. They're a lot of fun. Pretty cool birds to see. And then also I had different body colors. I had fawn and normal and gray. So I had three different body color types. I'm trying to think which one I had sent you, Jay. I don't know if I
You
sent
sent
you the
me, I think
normal
he's
or
a
if you're the
redheaded
fawn.
normal. I think
Okay,
he's a
normal.
redheaded normal. I'm actually, by the time this posts, I'll have posted an Instagram video of him because I got a great video of him singing today.
Nice. Good.
So if you are wondering what we're talking about, go jump onto my Instagram. Um, he is not even fully in color yet, and he is just gorgeous. I mean, the scalloping, everything is just popping. He is a beautiful bird. He is ready to breed. I know we've talked off camera about you're gonna have a hen ready for me, so
Yeah. Yeah.
excited
She
to
looks
add
to be
that.
fawn.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
she's a
excited
lighter color.
to that's a species I have not produced, not bred yet myself, so I'm excited to add that to the list of species that I have produced. So that's a big win. Yeah, they are. You killed it with them, and they're not that easy to breed. You made it look
No,
easy, but they're not that easy to breed, and I
they're
know it.
they're not. I've had definite ups and downs with them the last 3 years. I've Last year I had one pair that produced for me, and it was I think I got four chicks out of them, so I didn't get very many. And then this year, like similar to you, Jay, just the stars aligned, and we had great weather throughout spring, summer, fall, which was beneficial to the birds. And yeah, they just cranked them out. But they do require live food for the most part, or I would encourage live food for them. I have bred them without live food, but the chicks don't seem to grow as quick without them. And so, yeah, definitely a live food species with them being from Africa to be successful in breeding them. So,
Awesome. All right, next one for me is kind of an interesting one, and we talked about it before on the podcast, but Lazarus. So um, Chris found me some masked grass finches, which is a win all on its own. I'm up to four pairs of masks, which are, I would say, easily the hardest to find Australian species. It's either
yeah,
them or the plumheads, but I think it's them. I think it's masks, as far as the finches that we have in the U.S. And um, in shipping, which knock on wood, haven't lost a bird to shipping yet. But well, that's not true. I did lose one, but it was the post office's fault, and they just squished the box. That doesn't count as
yeah,
that wasn't really a shipping problem. That was a person problem. Um, but yeah, this was the first time I've had an injury in shipping. So I got the birds out of the box, put them in quarantine cage. I noticed this bird had, I think it's a male, but it could be a hen. I'm not sure. Calling it Lazarus. Um, and really hard to sex the masks. But one leg was, and I'm not exaggerating, just completely snapped at the femur and hanging like a loose noodle. Like the bird was on the perch and the leg was just dangling. I'm going to make it so you can see on camera, just dangling like this underneath the bird. And I've had that. I've seen the aftermath or had that happen a few times before,
yep,
sometimes solid bands and things like that. And pretty much that universally means one-legged finch. That means an
yeah,
amputation or a natural loss of the leg. And I was able to find a splinting guide online written by some veterinarians. Was able to consult with a friend of mine who is a veterinarian, and took a couple different tries, and I've documented it some on my Instagram, but I was able to splint the leg for 4 weeks, to itself and then to the bird. And I got video of him today also. The leg is still a little wonky. It's definitely still painful and sore, I think, at least a little bit. But that bird is acting completely normal. I got video of him today. He was down on the ground eating, and then he flew up and he perched, and he's using it. He's trying to grip with it. He's using it for balance. He's not holding a wing out or anything. So,
Nice.
had a bird that could have very easily been a one leg, pretty handicapped bird, which makes them, they'll live like that, but it's really hard to breed them like that because they're having to use extra energy and stuff.
Right.
And I think that bird is going to be able to stay in the breeding program. So that is a huge, huge win. That I
Awesome, man.
frankly, I feel like I threw a Hail Mary with 1 second left in the game and won the game. So
You
that was a big win.
you pulled the Washington Commanders and got
Yeah,
the game-winning touchdown off the Hail Mary last week.
caught
So
the cornerback taunting the fans. That was so funny. What an idiot.
instant karma right there, buddy.
That's got to be tough to explain in the film room on Monday.
Oh goodness, yeah, yeah, and own. So for sure. No, that's awesome, man. That's so hard to do, and like you said, the chances or the odds of birds recovering from that are so slim, especially your small, tiny finches. Usually results in an amputation or just complete loss, loss of the use of that leg, right? And so, um, awesome. Kudos to you on that part, dude.
Yeah,
And bet
I got
Jay,
lucky, but
dude,
it was
getting the
awesome.
job done. So, um, okay, win number three for me. I'm gonna put would be my shaft tails. I did really well this year with the shaft tails. Also, I've done multiple different setups with my shaft tails in the past, and I've tried cage breeding. I've tried like kind of smaller, like uh, larger cage flight breedings. This year, I had 3 pairs, so I did 2 pairs on one side and then another pair on the other, and I just let them breed in the aviary this year. And man, they just cranked babies out left and right for me, all 3 pairs. In my one flight that I had the 2 pairs, they kind of alternated. It was like one pair would do it, and then right after the second pair would do it, and they kind of alternated back and forth. But we got quite a few babies this year that from the shaft tails, good, beautiful babies, and then with paired. I was able to get my hands on a fawn female and a silver male shaft tail. The silver, he is beautiful. Like
Yeah,
I don't
those
know,
are pretty.
there's something about that guy that is
They
beautiful. And
look
so really,
like kind of like a normal, but like shiny. They
yeah,
look like a
exactly.
normal
They
that put its
really are
makeup on.
shiny. It's like a vampire or something that's
Hmm.
shining in the sun. But so I'm excited to incorporate him more and the fawn female into the breeding program. I am attracted to the fawn mutations of the shaft tail, so it's probably a direction that I'll be headed next year in trying to get more fawns in the aviary. But yeah, my shaft tails they rocked it, knocked it out of the park this year. Got multiple clutches from each pair and good success rate or survival rate from my babies, and had a huge waiting list for shaft tails this year. Actually, I've sold all of them except for 2 babies that I'm probably going to hold on and put back into the breeding program next year. But a lot of people were looking for shaft tails this year, which is good because they're one of my favorite birds. They are nice, slick, sleek feather, tons of energy. The bobs that they do on their head, like how they communicate with each other, they truly are an entertaining bird. And when you put them out in those big aviaries, man, they just thrive. They love it.
Yeah, they're my wife's favorite. Yeah, they're awesome, and you did do a great job with them. And by the way, I've got some fawn genetics, so if
Oh, do
these
you?
babies that
Okay.
I'm kicking out right now end up being fawn, I'll save one for you too.
Yeah, I
But
would
yeah,
be
I
interested.
I
Yeah,
didn't know I did until beginning of this year, and I got a surprise fawn. So I
that's
do
crazy.
have it. Mhm.
Sweet.
All right, last one for me. Got to be the diamond doves. I mean, they're not tough to breed, but man, this year I must have made. I had to have made close to 20. Which keep in mind, it's only two to a clutch. But I've got one that just fledged from one pair. I've got two in the nest from my other pair, and then I've got five in holding. So I've got right now a total of what's that, eight, and I've already
Yeah.
sold 16 or so, or 12 or 16. So yeah, I made 20 plus Diamond Doves this year.
Wow.
So that's really cool.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. You sent me a pair. You sent my brother a pair. I
Yeah,
love
I'm going
hearing
to
them
send
in
you
the
some more
morning.
here in a minute. Yeah, they're awesome.
Just a goofy bird that
Dumb as can be,
is.
just stupid. Mhm.
But I do love the coo that the males do and their mating dance. They're pretty cool. They're a fun addition. I have enjoyed the diamond doves. Haven't gotten them to breed. I mean, now it's winter time, so I don't expect them to
Yeah.
breed. But I was hoping maybe my female would do something, but she didn't seem to be too interested in the male this summer. Maybe just a little too young. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know
they're
what the deal is,
they're
but
hard to sex. It's possible I accidentally sent you two males. I mean, we'll see. I'm going to send you another pair though, so you'll be able to. And I got to talk to you before I send them to you because I want to do opposites of what I sent you before,
okay,
so that you'll have a male and a female from each pair, so you can make two pairs.
gotcha, sweet,
Um, that the babies would be related, but all the
right,
parents will be unrelated. So
gotcha, okay,
um, so that way maybe we can increase your odds a little bit. But
I like
they
that.
are they're a fun bird and they are just goofy. They're just goofy. All
You got
right.
to have at least one of those in the aviary. So, Jay, my last one started out as a failure, to be honest with you. I had
Mhm.
so much frustration with them, but my starfinches. First half of the summer, I either couldn't get them to breed at all or they would breed, had awesome fertility, and they just wouldn't feed the babies. They all just died in the nest, and I lost all four of my pairs hatched chicks and just didn't feed them. And I was like, getting really
Jeez.
frustrated and implemented a few different techniques and introduced some different foods to them, some soak seeds and things like that. And that really helped. And they just kind of did a 180, and all four of my pairs have produced babies for me. So late season blitz for the starfinches. I did my last two stars just fledged today. Actually, I got home from my work conference and went out and checked the birds, and they just came out of the nest box. Two of them, some beautiful yellow bodied, red faced babies that look
Mhm.
awesome. So I got 16, no, 14 total babies from them this last late blitz. Most of them did one. A couple of my pairs did two clutches. So was excited for that. But that's the first time I've ever bred starfish. Actually, that's a lie. I did breed one pair last year, but first time I feel like I actually successfully
It didn't
focused and
happen by
raised.
accident.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly right. It was intentional, and I know I've got several people that have reached out wanting some stars, and I was able to send some stars out before the weather got cold. But now that it's too cold, I'll just hold on to them, and come springtime, I'll have some available. I won't be breeding all of them or keeping them all. So come springtime, I'll have some available, and they'll be ready to breed and have some beautiful colors on them. So, if you guys are interested, let me know.
You know, the one you sent me is coloring up great. He's singing, he's doing all the right star stuff. So yeah, great
Sweet.
birds. You know, high five to us a little bit this episode, but
Yeah,
we
we'll
thought
take
we'd
it.
bring some positive vibes. You know, we talked about this the other day. You get your highs and your lows in this uh, hobby, in this adventure, this game that we're on. But um, some really, I think we both had really, you know, we had some tough stuff or whatever
Right.
happened, but I think we both had really great years. And you know, and obviously, I will say this too: a big high for both of us, I know, has been this. So.
Yeah,
Um, Come
absolutely.
February, there will be a year of the podcast, so we're getting close.
Wow. Oh, you are getting
Yeah,
close, man. That's awesome.
yeah. And we are, you know, I'm not sick of it. I love doing it. You
No.
know, my
Yep.
mom said to me today, she goes, "You're so tired. You're gonna podcast tonight?" I said it. I said, "Chasing the dream, mom."
Absolutely. Same thing. My wife said, she's like, you just got home from your work conference that you've been to the last 2 days. You gonna podcast? I'm like, yep, we're gonna do it. You crank them out. So, but I wouldn't want to be doing anything else, man. You know, it's like I love this. It's a hobby that I love. love hanging out with you, producing fun videos, and hopefully you guys see these as beneficial. I mean, I'm assuming by the comments and positive feedback that we get that you guys do like them. Continue to keep asking questions and giving us topics, and let us know how your birds did this year. What were your highs? We'd love to hear those in the comments. Maybe a new species of bird that you were able to breed or keep in your collection this year that you haven't been able to before, anything like that. So we'd love to hear you guys' comments and feedback. That's what helps to keep us going and keep us engaged and wanting to do more of these podcasts.
Yeah, big wins all around. I'm excited. I'm already fired up for next breeding season. I'm
Yeah,
starting to
can't come.
plan the aviary redo in my head. That's my next big game. So
Yep, same here. I've actually, when we met with my older brother Bob, we were redesigning our aviaries and where we want branches and what we're going to put in there. And next year, I'm going to have a big focus on the parrot finches and setting up my aviary to promote a little bit more success with my red face and my blue face parrot finches, because I didn't have much success at all with them this year. And so that's going to be a focus, and hopefully it'll turn out, and we'll be able to set it up right and get some good babies coming this next year. So
mass grass finches for me. That's the focus. Now I got 4 pairs. It's time to make some more masks.
absolutely,
So
man, it's gonna be awesome.
awesome. All right, Chris. Well, if they want to talk about their highs or they want to DM me a question or something, where can they find you?
Yeah, reach out to me, Instagram, BirdNerd4. That's the best platform to get a hold of me. That's where I'm most responsive. I do respond to Facebook and YouTube, which both of those are BirdNerd. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer, just as I don't get on those platforms as much, but I do try to, at least on a weekly basis, if not more than that. So, yeah, reach out to me, any of those. Love to hear your guys' comments, feedback, and or answer any questions that you may have. How about you, Jay? How can they get a hold of you?
I am on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, and Reddit. It is all the Javiary or the underscore Javiary. Shoot me a DM, ask me a question. Thread sucks. They thought they almost got away from me there, but yeah. We're here to help. We love to help. We want to celebrate the wins with you. We want to help you deal with the hard times. So give us a shout, and we will catch y'all in the next one.
Yeah. See you guys.